This fact has changed my life. This changes everybody's lives. I think this prevents even cancers, diabetes, all these illnesses that we are suffering. I think genuinely this thing drastically reduces likelihood of getting any of these issues. This is the prevention of these issues. And I believe eating whole foods saves lives. This sounds like common sense to a lot of people. Don't eat chocolate, don't eat, processed crap. But I don't think people realize the actual genuine problem that arises when you consume these foods. It is horrible. It's killing you, man. It's killing you. Genuinely, it's killing you. And I think this is a genuine problem that this is an epidemic. This is an epidemic. Eating whole foods prevents all of these issues. I believe that. A lot of people do not realize the crap that they just put on the shelves in the shops. This is horrendous. And there's a lot of people buying it. I buy it. I bought it. I used to eat it. I used to eat all of these foods. I used to be obese. It's only when you lose the fat you start to realize, oh my God. And then you start reading all these things, all these studies, these podcasts, books, even like ultra processed foods. But God, it's a genuine problem, man. It's so bad. It actually worries me because it's getting worse. It's getting worse. A lot more people are eating these processed foods. That's just one part of the issue. Even whole foods aren't like what they used to be years ago due to soil depletion. That affects, the meat that we eat, the animals that we eat. It also affects them, what they consume. And then once they're slaughtered, we eat that, and it's not as nutrient dense. You know what I mean? It's such a bad issue. It's horrendous. Now, I'm going to tell you why eating whole foods saves lives. And it is common sense, but I don't think you know the severity of this issue. This is really bad. I'm just going to tell you everything you need to know about these processed foods and what they're doing to you and what whole foods do well, what our grandparents used to eat. And even in their generation, that's when processed foods becoming was becoming more popular in stores around the world. Even that generation, back in the 50s, 60s, that's when it started, becoming a problem. And now you see everyone in public with bad skin, higher body fat, all these issues that is just so you can tell if someone eats the types of food, processed foods. You can tell. And it's it's horrendous. It's not their fault. It's not our fault. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. You just haven't been provided with the information, right? And if you're in the fitness space, you somewhat understand. You somewhat understand. But even so, people would go to the gym, they buy protein bars or, you know, protein powders, have protein shakes and stuff. That ultra processed foods. It's not your fault. It is not your fault. No one has provided you with the correct information. This affects everyone. Even even people who go to the gym, they're still suffering with this issue. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's not good because they go to the gym, they lift weights, they work hard. Good, good. Get to Mackey's. When you go to a retail park, your gym's in a retail park, and across the road from the gym, you see Mackey's, Taco Bell. Oh my God, they just want to kill you. Honestly, this is so it's so stupid. But yeah, now I'm gonna tell you why whole foods are the shit. First things first, they're nutrient dense. They provide vitamins and minerals. Yeah, they keep you full for long periods of time rather than processed foods because processed foods, they're made to be addictive. So that's why when you go to McDonald's, you can't just have, one burger or one fries. Some people can, but they don't fill you up, and they made it that way. So you can come back and buy more, buy a larger order, and stuff like that. Another thing that's important, especially for gym goers or people who are, into fitness and all that, is this applies to general population as well. Everyone should be know this, the importance of whole foods. They provide antioxidants. They provide antioxidants, which in short reduces inflammation around the body and protects you from they protect you from damage, basically. That's how I could say it. That's how I could simplify it. It protects you and reduces inflammation. That's the simplest way I could say that. Eating whole foods prevents major chronic diseases. Now, it helps prevent heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers, and even obesity, as that's already an epidemic. Yeah, honestly, it's really bad. The thing with processed foods is that it doesn't really give you there's no nutritional content in ultra processed foods. And because the shops or the stores around the world basically now, 80% of it comprises ultra processed foods. That means a lot of people are just buying these sort of foods, and it's so bad that ultra processed foods make up the majority of the population's diet now instead of whole foods, as it used to be years ago. Years ago, 100 years ago, we didn't have this issue, but now we do because companies want to. Well, we know the game. We know the game. These companies that sell these food products, they want the production cost to be low as possible, and these ultra processed foods, they act as a additive or a fill-in. What I mean by this is, the stabilizers and the preservatives that are added into these foods. They allow the company to make production costs as cheap as possible by just adding these unnatural ingredients. And the third point I want to put out there is eating whole foods just supports longevity. So in short, it just makes you live longer, a higher life expectancy. Expectancy. Can't say that properly. Well, it's from like the first point. It provides you with the vitamins and minerals, fiber, protects you from oxidative stress. In short, it just makes you live longer. And the most underrated point I'd say actually, whole foods improve your mental health by a a big improvement. Whole foods just improve your mental health. It just makes you more stable, you know? It makes you more stable due to the improvement in hormone production. Um, all of your hormones are in check when you eat whole foods due to the vitamins, minerals, antioxidant, and it just helps. Eating whole food helps these processes that happens in our body to protect ourselves from from free radicals. It improves immune function, cellular repair, underrated, and it also just protects us. It has neuroprotective features. Well, it just preserves brain health, preserves brain health, decreases brain aging, if that's how you say it, and it improves your cognitive function, your ability to think, your ability to take action, your ability to solve problems, and your ability to notice patterns. Whole Foods just enhances that. I don't think you can be as sad or depressed or feeling anxious when you're eating whole food, the right foods. You're telling me if someone eats whole foods and they feel good about themselves because they eat the proper real food, like the real foods, they eat real foods. You're telling me it doesn't have an effect on the brain? The food that you eat impacts the brain. And I'm not talking, small amount. I'm on about big improvements, big changes. It's a matter of life or death. And I'm not even exaggerating. I know it sounds a bit stupid. Maybe I am a bit autistic about this, but I genuinely believe it. And it's not me, 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 me. I'm not talking about I. I don't like that. It's about you. It's about everyone. It's about just saving ourselves. What are we doing? It's not your fault though. They don't tell you about this. It's not your fault. Please remember that. It's not your fault. It's so important that we just talk about this. It's so important. You know, Obesity is on the rise. Mental health is getting worse, especially men as well. And we can blame it on social media, being inside a lot, you know, not really doing anything productive, no nothing to strive for, no passion. We have a lot less of that. Whole Foods, it's a motivator. I believe when you eat healthy foods, when you eat whole foods, you're most likely to be an ambitious person if you eat whole foods. Like you want to achieve things. You got your body right, you got your mental right. Why wouldn't you want to achieve things? When you eat whole foods. This happens when you eat whole foods. Now, when you eat ultra processed foods, your diet, majority of it consists of ultra processed foods. You won't have any of these effects. You won't believe in yourself. You won't actually think highly of yourself. You'll just think, oh, everyone's better than me, and then you start scrolling on social media, negative feedback loop. It's not your fault. It's the food you eat that I reckon it dictates your success. If you eat whole foods, you cannot, you will be a successful person when you eat whole foods. I believe that. There is no way, hang on, there is no way you cannot succeed if you eat whole foods. Unless you're not eating enough calories. But if the majority of our diet is comprised of whole foods, I think we can battle a lot of these issues, especially anxiety and depression. I think we can destroy that because it's only now that we're experiencing these issues. A lot of people are feeling more anxious. A lot of these people are, more reliant on medication. But these medications, they don't solve anything really. They may help ease your symptoms for a little bit, for a few weeks, for a few months, for a few years even. But your body adapts so quickly that you need to up the doses of all of these medications, and then you reach the highest dose, and then you just feel like crap again. You can't escape it. You have to fix the core issue. You have to solve the core problem. The majority of people who are anxious or depressed, they are the same people who eat ultra processed foods and who are most likely to be obese or have just all of these issues, man. I believe it's whole foods that will help us prevent a lot of these issues. I know it sounds so I know it sounds so stupid. It's saved me. It's changed my life. Throughout my throughout puberty, I was eating the crap food, man. My mum made such good food as well. I just snacked a lot. I ate a lot of sweets and stuff, candy, Americans. I ate a lot of candy. It wasn't my mum's fault, no, not at all. I just snacked a lot. I ate a lot of crisps, Doritos and such. Pringles, god damn, squashies, squashies. Haribo, ultra processed foods. That's what I'm trying to say. Ultra processed foods. And I think it's especially important when you're younger, especially if you're from ages 0 to 18. I think it's even more important because eating ultra processed foods can inhibit your how would I say it? You don't reach your fullest potential if your diet consists of ultra processed foods. The majority, like let's say 80% of your diet is ultra processed. Now, when you're a teenager, I think this is another issue actually. Let me say this. When you're a teenager, your mum and dad cooks good food, right? Cook really healthy food. And then you eat, and then you snack, and then you snack. It's only when it's my generation that does this. It's only when you leave the house is when you grow up, when you reach 18, 19, you go to uni or you live somewhere else, you have your own place. That's when it really starts to kick in. That's really when it starts to hit. A lot of us don't know how to cook, me included. But back then, me included, I didn't know how to cook. The only thing I knew how to cook was bloody um pasta pesto. Pasta pesto. That's what I could cook back then. Not even chili con carne or curry. I couldn't do that. Only pasta pesto. How sad is that? Pathetic. You know, that's just our that's just a lot of people not teaching you how to cook, or you just don't have the incentive to learn how to cook yourself, which I didn't. I take all the blame because yeah, I was just being lazy. Let's just say that. My generation is lazy. Now I know the job market and such is difficult to get into. I know that I'm not an idiot. But we are lazy. The uni students, what are they doing actually? What are they doing? I'm a uni student. I'm entering my fourth and final year at Cardiff, if you want to know. Cardiff Uni, by the way, not Met or anything like that. Anyways, Whole Foods saves your lives. It's imperative that you just learn how to cook these Whole Foods. I'm gonna cook in a minute, chili con carne myself. I'm gonna make that myself in a minute. I might as well flip and record it at this point, didn't I? There we go, B-roll. The final thing I want to say is it improves your gut health. You know, your microbiome. For people who don't know, just improves your gut health, and your gut health can determine your mental health, how you look, even your skin, your texture, your skin spot. If your gut health is not in check, if your gut health is not in check, there will be a lot of problems that arises from that. Just from that alone, gut health important. Ultra processed foods, just is not good. It's not good for your gut health. Whole foods, we know, is good for your gut health. I just wanted to say that as my final point. You know, gut health has effects on our systemic inflammation. Battery's running low. Yeah, you're going to be more anxious or depressed if your gut health is suboptimal. Whole Foods corrects it. Whole Foods, I don't want to say correct it because gut health should be the normal anyway. You know, our gut health throughout our evolution was just normal, right? What I want to point out here is Whole Foods make you normal. It makes you normal, but because a lot of people eat ultra processed foods, it actually makes you above average when you start eating whole foods. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of these influencers online, they're eating whole foods, normal foods. They look good, they feel good. They're just eating normal food. It's normal. It's normal. But people say ultra processed foods are normal, which they aren't. Oh, why don't you have a Mackie? Oh God, you're on a diet. You're on a diet. That's a big one. Oh, why are you on a diet? It's not a diet. I'm just eating normal foods. This is not a diet to me. This is just a way of life. And I know that sounds cringe, but genuinely, it's normal. It's not a diet. It's normal. I don't know why it's called a diet. Diet has connotations of just not having fun. The word diet has connotations of not having fun, not enjoying yourself, looking for just trying to lose weight and fat. And me in Whole Foods is not a diet. It's just eating normal. Diet is when I'm trying to lean down for a competition or to improve athletic performance. That's what a diet means to me. And I think that's what it actually means. Not just not just eating normal. Do you know what I'm trying to say though, innit? You know what I'm trying to say. Me eating normal foods doesn't mean I'm dieting. You know, me not drinking alcohol doesn't mean I'm not having fun. Oh, you're boring. Do you know what I mean? Do you get that? I think it's just British culture. Maybe Australian as well. Who knows? But that's what we have here. That's what people say here. That's what people say. Oh, you don't drink, you don't have fun. Oh, you're on a diet. God, you're not happy with yourself. Oh, come on, man. Come on. We have to change this. We have to genuinely change this. This is bullshit. This is bull crap. This is bollocks. Whole Foods. It should be normal. It should be the normal thing, the standard. But no, ultra processed foods are now. And genuinely, people talk about testosterone and stuff. I want to say this real quick. Those who are looking to improve their testosterone levels, free testosterone, testosterone, thyroid function, all of that, just eat whole foods filled with vitamins and minerals, eat for micronutrient excellence, and you'll just achieve a normal hormonal profile. You'll have the optimal, the standard that you should be having in the first place. Testosterone's on the decrease now because the lack of real foods and also the lack of activity, the exercise. Eating whole foods will optimize your hormones, your hormone production, allowing you to, like, for example, the Leydig cells. Just improving that will help you generate more, testosterone throughout your body. But if you don't put yourself in, well, our generation, we don't have competition, and a lot of people are becoming virgins and stuff. That's not an issue, virgin. That's religion as well. But not talking to women or blokes, well, yeah, not talking to women, not even looking at them, not even conversing, none of that. Or there's no competition, there's no real brotherhood, there's none of that. We are just sedentary. The only competition you probably have is video games, which has been shown actually to increase testosterone, I think, when you're in that competitive state. But that's natural. That's good. But I feel like you should have that in person, physically, not online, because really, really, it's common sense. Just do it in person. You know, who can? I know it's stupid, but who can do the most pull-ups? You know what I mean? That fun competition. Maybe having a rival. Maybe having a rival. Like when boxers. Oh, you know it. It's common sense. The Olympians, sprinters. They have their rivals. Their testosterone's up. They train harder. They do all this. It should be common sense. And in regards to sex, when you talk to women, your testosterone goes up because your brain thinks, oh, I need this. I need this level of testosterone. I need to feel calm. I'm talking to an attractive woman. This is important. I need it now. Besides that, you don't deserve it if you're a lazy twat who eats ultra processed foods. Ultra processed foods is not your fault, but also a bit of it is common sense. If you eat shit food, why should you deserve high levels of testosterone? That's not how it works. Just wanted to say that. In short, not testosterone. In short, eating whole foods will prevent many major chronic diseases. Whole foods consist of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and reduces inflammation around your body, especially important after the gym. And it improves your mental health, regulates hormones, does all the good things. And I just wanted to say that I think it's important. Thank you for your time.